Here we are, back at it again, my friends. Another week, another day. Just believe. Just believe. Another day.
I respect the teams in the game. For you not to even know my name. I done came from the bottom, but now I'm on top. And I promise to give you everything that I got. Gotta know what it means to me. What it means.
Alright, so what do we have going on? What do we have going on? Work. I mean, they're big on that work. Right, so it's still a continuation of the hurry up and wait. My app is up on the Android platform. Right, now I believe that I mentioned what the project was. Right, so that's up, and then now. So that one got approved, and then I submitted like a light version. That way, people can download it for free, test it out. But the controls are horrible, right? The controls it's the touchpad. The touchpad is bad, or the touch options. They're not good. So. You know, I had to think like, yo, do I want to pull this project? Like, yo, what do I want to do? Since I know that the touch controls are horrible, right? So I did like a virtual D-pad, but then it would make the screen small, right? And the characters would be small. So... You know, it was like, man. So I kept the touchpad or the touch screen option. I kept that, and I eliminated the D-pad so that it's the characters are a nice size on the screen. But I'm feeling like, yo, nah, I just need to put it where it's best, where it can shine the brightest, right? And that is Steam. Now, the downside is with Steam is $100, and then you can't touch anything, any money generated until it reaches $1,000, right? But really, if you look at it, even if let's say the Android, if it was selling like that, like I probably wouldn't touch that right away either, right? So really, when you really look at it, you know, $1,000 is really not that bad, right? Now, who knows how long it's going to take, but then it just brings us to the biggest issue, which is going to be getting the word out and building up the subscribers, right? Building up. It's not a subscribe based app. It's just a one-off, but building up the interest in selling, right? So I think that's really going to be the focus. It's going to be, okay, all right, put it where, you know, it is the best that it can be, which is going to be Steam and Steam's competitors, where you can use it on a computer, you can use your keyboard, right? You can use your directional options, up, down, left, right, and the space bar, or if you have a controller. So that's really going to be the best option. So I feel like, look, that's where it has to be, and that's where I'm going to have to sell or promote. So that's really where we're at this week. Again, I'm still waiting. I accepted 2 jobs, and I'm just really waiting for either one to start. And then I did an interview at another job. I did that maybe yesterday or the day before. So yeah, I did that yesterday, and that's what it just kind of threw everything off as far as my recording the podcast and dropping on Wednesday, right? So that's what kind of threw us off. But it's like, look, man, I just need to work. I just need to work and get some extra money coming in. Like, I'm really backed up, but I know that there's no need stressing over it. There's no need crying over spilled milk. The biggest lesson that I take from, and I've been nudging in this direction anyway, but it's like, yo, you got to do it your way. You can't worry about you just really can't look at how other people do it. You have to figure out how you are going to do it. And that's definitely a challenging endeavor, because it's based on time and it's based on money. So you have to, all right, how do we make money? The easiest way is to trade time for money. Right? That's the easiest way. But so then you have a certain amount that you're going for in your head. Hey, I need to make X amount of dollars. Okay, well, since we're trading time for money, how much time will we have to trade for that amount? And it's like, okay, boom. Now we still need time to set up all of these other things, right? So when will you have time to do that? And it's like, I don't know. Do you care if you live or die? I don't know, right? So it's like, yo, I don't know when I'm going to have time to do those things. But that must be done. So while I'm out here trading time for money, I also need to be building up on just the advertising and the marketing and acquiring sales. So it's definitely a task, right? It's definitely a task. And like I said, you can't worry about dropping the ball. You know, I went to Baltimore and it wasn't successful. Now, how could I have known that, given the information that I had? Right? So I made my decision based on the information that I had, and it was a faulty decision. So you have to say, okay, so how could I have known that? Right? Now, when we talk about the Baltimore trip, now we're talking about the trucking business. And when you talk about the trucking, right? Now this is box truck deliveries. All right, we get access to a box truck. We want to go OTR, on the road, over the road, to generate some capital. Now, we had access to, what's the name of that app? I want to say it was DAT. Okay. So we have access to DAT, which is a switchboard where you can find jobs. So you got the truck and you have the way to find jobs. Now, before I left, we looked at DAT and we saw, okay, you got this. This is, let's say it's, this job is 2,000 and it's going, let's say it's going to California. So you got 2,000 going to California, or 2,600 or something like that, right? So you got 2,600 going to California. You have, let's say you got 1,500 going here. You got 12, right? This is before I'm in Baltimore. I'm looking at the information. Once I get to Baltimore, all right, now we have to find a job, right? So we on day one, boom, we got to get a job. Let's hop on DAT and see what's available. So it's Monday. We're on DAT. We see a job. And I want to say it was going out west somewhere, maybe Washington so I'm like, all right. So I call the guy, which is, the broker, which DAT is a broker in a sense, right? So now you call this broker and I'm like, all right, look, I would like to, take this load. He's like, all right, I'm waiting on somebody, right? I'm waiting on our West Coast division because he had something else that's coming that way. So we want to lock that in as well, right? So, just give us some time and we'll call you back. So the first thing that I run into on DAT is what they call double brokers, right? Now, I wasn't aware of it at the time, but that's a thing. So what it is someone will get a contract on another load board. Let's say the other load board is LAT, right? Which that's not, to my knowledge, I'm just making up one. So they go on LAT, they get this load, and then they come over to DAT. And let's say the load pays $2,000, then they're going to put it on DA. So they got the load on LAT. They got the commitment on LAT for $2,000. They're going to come over to, they're going to come on DAT and say, hey, we got this load. It's $1,000, right? So they make $1,000, from doing nothing, right? And what you find, so you can rate these, where you get the job. You can rate your brokers. So you look at their score, and you'll see like 1 star, 2 stars, and people will say like, yo, they don't pay, right? These people, they don't pay. Now, depending on your score, as far as a broker, right? These guys will say, look, you want to go and do this thing for $1,000, depending on their score. If they have a low score, then payment company, because you don't get paid the same day, right? This is another hurdle in the trucking business. So companies have 60 days. So they have up to 60. You could say even 9. Some companies, they even do 90 days to pay. So you just imagine you have to work, fill up your truck and just maintain, just do everything that you can do for 30, 60, even 90 days before you even receive your first payment. Now, if you want to get paid the same day, they have something that's called factoring. Now, the factoring, you sign up for a factoring company, and what'll happen is they'll take on the 30, 60, or 90 day payout. They'll take that on, and they'll pay you the same day. So, well, the day that you complete the contract. So you're delivering from point A to point B. You pick it up at point A, you take it to point B, you contact your factoring company. Hey, I just did this, right? You give them the paperwork, and then they take a small percentage and they pay you out. Now, like I was saying with this double brokering, is that some factoring companies, they don't work with everybody, right? So if they got burnt from a company, then they're not going to factor them, right? And they just really want you in there so that they can, hopefully you do business with the right people. But you grab a contract and you commit to a contract because people are all applying for these low board jobs. So you see the low board job, you call them up. It's like, yo, you're going to accept it, because if it wasn't that level of scarcity, this could easily be remedied by you see a job on a low board, you call the company to get the job, right? They say, hey, this job is available. Then let's say you could text, or you like saying like a quick, fast way to know if this company is compatible with your factoring company, right? So then if you get on a factoring company, let's say before you even take the job, you see it on the low board, it says, yo, we're going from New York to LA. It is, ABC Trucking. So then you just go to your factoring. Hey, you guys do business with ABC Trucking? And then they'll say yay or nay. If they say no, then boom, nah, I can't, I don't care how much y'all paying, I'm not going to do it. Right? And now you're okay. But that's not the case. You have all of these people that are all fighting for these jobs. So they're going to accept and take it right away. You're going to call them up. Hey, boom, boom, boom. They're going to say, yo, we're going from New York to LA. We're going to pay, $2,600. All right. Right. You look, yeah, I'll do it. And then after you do it, then you go check with your factoring company, and they're like, nah, no, we don't, no, we already got burnt by them. Right. So it doesn't even work like that, because as soon as you take the job, then now look, you got to go up there and drive. And that's what you find a lot of times. Right now, this isn't to scare anyone away, because people are successful on in this field. So this isn't everybody, and you can shift through the shit in order to find the gold nuggets, right? And there's so many other people that's taking these landmines for you that, okay, you're going to be able to get what you need to get. So I'm not saying this to deter anyone from getting into the trucking. Like, I'm just telling you my experience, what happened to me. So that was a big issue Then you have the truck. Now you can get with a dispatcher, right? Because, all right, you have to really be on those. You have to be on that load board. You have to be on there all day. I mean, and that's really just a reoccurring theme just with anything. To really get something out of it, you really have to be on it for a long time. You really have to make that commitment to the project. It's just no way around. There's no way around it, right? Now, I still believe in the 4-hour work week, right? How does that apply? That is, okay, let's say you have to spend 10, 11 hours on the load board when you first start off. But you're making note of when you get in the jobs and where you're getting these jobs. So you log it down for a month, right? I would say like a year, right? So you're going hard like that for a year. What you're going to when you start to look at the data and you start to look at it, you're going to see reoccurring things like what time did you get the load? What time? So you're going to start to identify the times to get on during the week. So Monday will have a certain time that you're going to be able to get on and see certain jobs. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, right? Saturday, Sunday, however you want to drive. Most places, they do work on Saturdays and Sundays, but it's going to be minimum, right? But you're going to be able, some places are going to have that available. So if you look at it and you start to make note, then eventually where you used to spend 11 hours a day, or even, I would say like 11, I mean, it's going to be a lot, but where you spent a lot of time on the load boards looking for these jobs, you can cut that down drastically, right? And to where you're looking during certain times, certain blocks, and say, okay, I'm going to, on Mondays, I check between 6 a.m. and 11 a.m., right? Whatever the best jobs, like, okay, when they're crunch, if they haven't found anybody by 11 and they really want to get this thing out and they know that it has to leave their warehouse by 3, now they're more desperate and they're like, yo, look, we just got to bite the bullet and pay whatever we have to pay and lose a little bit on this, right? So you're going to get those type of opportunities and you're going to know. And let's say that was the case. So then every day at 10 a.m. you get on. So you only get on from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. and only take those jobs, or 11 a.m. until 12. Right? And you're only taking just, look, I only want the desperate people who they're ready to pay whatever. Look, I just need this stuff out of here. Right. So if you can establish that, if that is the reality of it, you got that. So then that leads to a dispatcher. And it's like, yo, you got to get a dispatcher, because then you just have the dispatcher do all of that. And the only thing you do is drive. They go ahead, they make the connect, they talk to the, they'll talk to the broker, and right. So you do that. So boom, we were looking for a dispatcher. And we found one, but the contract, just what she was talking about with the contract, me personally, I just didn't like that. Right now, it took us a week, which it shouldn't have, but look, that's just what it is. Sometimes people are busy, but it took us a while to talk to her. It took us a week to talk to her. And she's like, oh, nah, this is just a generic contract that I found. Look, you don't have to worry about that. Which is like, yo, all right, well, you need to cross that out and initial, right? Because I'm not trying to hear a year from now, a few months from now, I got to hear and deal with this clause that you said, last year didn't matter, but now we find that it does matter because you're greedy, right? And people get greedy once they get money, and they like, oh man, I want some more money. And that happens. So, we finally get past that. And like I said, so I had to teach her, okay, look, this is how it is. Look at it like a jump rope. Look at it like a dryer, a washing cycle, a circle. This is our circle area. This is, so if you can just get me in there, it doesn't matter if I need to go, if I need to deadhead 300 miles, just get me into that loop and just keep me going. And I'll be all right. So you got that, but then you have all of my bills, everything is still stacking up without any money coming in. I mean, that's just a huge problem. So it just creates like, it's just this tension, and you have all of this stuff, money doesn't stop. The bills don't stop. The bills do not stop. So it's like, I gotta figure it out. And just going probably 3 to 4 weeks without any money coming in. I mean, that really did damage, right? So then I was like, I gotta go back and I gotta rebuild. Now I could have rebuilt in Baltimore as far as finding different jobs, right, and working my way up, which I would say would have been the best option, but because I have a family, like, you just can't do that, right? So you have to work with the pieces that you have, right? Idealistically, if I'm playing a chess game, I would like to have all of my pieces, right? But if I didn't play down and I didn't sacrifice the bulk of my army, and I've sacrificed the bulk of my pieces, and then now I'm only left with a knight, a rook, and 3 pawns, like, then that's the game I gotta play. I can't keep wishing, man, I wish I had my other knight, my bishop. I wish I still had my queen. Like, no, it's all right. You have these 3 pawns. These 3 pawns, one of them can promote to a queen, right? So you can sacrifice off, so you can exchange and sacrifice to where you're down in a king pawn ending. If you're in, to set yourself up for a position to where you can promote that last pawn and get the queen and then get the win, right? So that is an option based on the game, but you have to look at the board, you have to look at your pieces. And that's really what I had to do. I had to look at the board, and I had to look at my pieces, and I had to say, okay, now, yes, I can do it that way, right? I can do it that way, but unlike a chess game, these pieces are people. So to sacrifice people, that's only for, like, that's a grueling game right there. All right. When you're sacrificing people, that is, that's a grueling game. So at that point, you gotta say, okay, are we in that type of game? And the answer to that question is no, right? We weren't in a grueling game to where it's like, this is, by any means necessary, we're going to win this. And just like I said in one of those previous episodes, I'm not sure if it was the last one or the one before, but I know it was within the 2 where, like, that's how good you have to be if you're really trying to play this game, right? Because if you find yourself not doing that, well, then at this point, like, you really not trying to win. It's like we playing Tekken. If you really not putting in that work and grinding, it's really not even that hard, right? But it is tedious. And I believe that's the reality of this journey. Things are not hard. It's tedious, right? Calculus is not hard. It's just tedious. If you have to start from just the basics or the building blocks of math before you get the calculus, before you get the trigonometry, then that's what you have to do, right? You have to you're going to have to clean up your math. And it's not going to be hard. It's just going to be tedious. If you want to play the drums, you've never played the drums before. It's not going to be hard, but it's going to be tedious. You're going to have to spend a lot of time. You're going to have to develop independence of your four limbs. You're going to have to develop that. Like, it's no way around it. You're going to have to develop independence of your four limbs. And that is tedious, right? When you first try to do it, okay, you'll think it hides behind the illusion of being hard. Man, I got to do one rhythm with my right leg and then do another rhythm with my left leg, right? So when they work together, it's easy, right? So if you're doing one, let's say the right leg is doing 1, 2, 3, 4, right? And the left leg is doing, let's say the left leg is doing like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, right? So those rhythms work together. So it's easier to do that together, right? Like after you spend some time and whatever, you're going to see that those two things work together. But if you were doing 1, 2, 3, 4 with your right leg, and then with your left leg, you needed to do triplets, or you need to do like 1E, a 2, like a 1E, 2, like that. Because if I did 1E, a 2E, a 3E, like that would be a little hard, but eventually you would be able to get it, right? Just doing the small, tedious work. But if you had to do like 1E, and 3, 1E, and, right? That is going to be hard, right? But it can be done. It can be done. It's just going to be tedious. You're going to have to break it down into smaller pieces until you can do it. And that is this illusion of hardness, right? So even as we bring it full circle back to the app and advertising and marketing and finding that first customer, because I don't want a friends or family. Here, let me pause this one. Matter of fact, I can just cut it. So hold on. I'm not going to pause. So I don't want friends and family. Like, I don't want a friend to buy it because I'm their friend. I don't want family to buy it because I'm their family. Right? That's a false illusion. And even though it can be in the beginning rewarding, right? You get that dopamine rush, you still get the illusion of success, but it's not success. Right? And as long as you depend on that illusion, then you'll never find success, and you'll always question, man, what's going on? It's the same if we liken it to a child getting feedback from their parents, right? I always try to be honest with my kids, my daughter and my son, far as the feedback. I remember when my daughter, when she was baking, right? She would always bake and cook and do things like that. And I remember when it wasn't good, right? The food, the desserts, I remember when that stuff wasn't good. And I would tell her, like, her singing, I remember when that stuff wasn't good, and I would tell her and let her know, like, yo, no, this is not good. This isn't it yet. right? And I remember when it did get good, right? Like when her cooking, when her singing, right? When it became like, yo, this is good. My son playing video games. Like I remember when he was trash, and then I remember when he was good, right? When he got good, he was able to do these things. And it was like, you know, people would be like, yo, Bo, you harsh, you too hard, you too this, you too that. But when I told them, when I relayed to them that like, yo, this is good, they knew that it was good. It was the truth because I never lied to them. Nah, yo, that's not it. That's not it. You got it in you, right? You got it in you, but this isn't it. Like, yo, this is not where it's at. This is not it. So I've always been honest with them, right? And this is something that's measurable. With something that's measurable, you can do that, right? Now, let's say it's a certain style of singing, right? Well, I can't comment on that. Let's say if it's a certain genre, which I've never been, like I've been open and free of all of that, all right? If you can sing, you can sing. Like, it doesn't matter if you're singing the Beach Boys, if you're singing Lady Gaga, if you're singing Whitney Houston, if you're singing Soulja Boy, right? Kiss Me Through the Phone. Like it doesn't matter. If you can sing, you can sing, right? It doesn't like if it sounds, let's say there's some type of abstract art and it looks like it, yo, I think it's good, right? So because people confuse my style of criticism, they confuse it with like a hater, right? Someone, and I can't say that people are or are not, but usually, like, if you're a hater, you will you'll look at something like, let's say it's a poem, right? So my kid write a poem. I'm not criticizing the meaning of the poem, right? I'm just criticizing the ability of the poem. So if you can do one fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish, systematically it makes sense, it works, then like, yo, yeah, that's good. Right? Now, as far as the meaning and will it be prominent in the poetry realm, like that, I don't know. I can't criticize on that. But like, yo, the structure is there. This is a nice poem, right? Will you be able to become a famous poet? I don't know. I don't know about that. I can't speak on that. So when I say that, I was hard on my kids as far as giving them the reality, I'm just giving them the reality of structure, not the reality of meaning, right? What it means, like, I can't critique that. I can't tell them like, yo, this is, so if you made a creation, I can't tell you that your creation is bad in the sense of its meaning, right? But if you said, yo, I'm trying to draw a triangle and it's not a triangle, I can let you know, no, this is not a triangle, right? If you draw a shape and you write square above it, and I'm looking at it and it's like, yo, that's not a square, I can do that, right? But if you draw a shape and a whole configuration of shapes and you say like, yo, this is the representation of man and his plight towards God, like, yo, I can't tell you that that's bad. I can't tell you that that's bad. It doesn't, like, if I don't see it, right? I'm just, look, Oh, okay. Okay. But see, that's not the same as saying like, yo, that is not a square. That's not a circle, right? So that's why I say that I want, or I need to be free of friends and family purchasing and helping me out, right? Only if it's true and honest. Now, true and honest means that you won't do it, right? So let's say I have this app, and okay, how many apps like this do you have? If you don't have none, you don't have one. You don't have one app like the one that I created. You wouldn't buy this app if I wasn't attached to it. You wouldn't buy this app. So because of that, I can't allow you to buy the app. Right? Now let's say eventually you want to get into this field, right? You want to get into the lane where this app lives. And you come to me and you like, yo, man, I'm really trying to do X, Y, Z. I can say like, yo, I do have an app that I created, and I do have a free version that you can try to see if you like it, to see if like, yo, this can help me. Now that I have that free version, and you now have this opportunity, go ahead and download the free version and see if this can help you, right? So once I get the free version, then I can let my friends and family know, because it's like, yo, all right, if you just want to be a friend, you just want to be a family member, look, I'm going to support you. I'm going to download the app. Right? You download the app, but you never use it, right? This isn't somewhere where you want to be. This isn't something that you want to develop within yourself. Then it's a win-win for both of us, right? Because I didn't get money from you, right? Because that's more that's a real commitment. When you get money from someone, that's a real commitment. And it's like, yo, I didn't get money from you. So now when I look at my numbers of things sold, I can say like, yo, all right, I'm at one sold. I sold one app. Right? I have one download. I have one sale. This is a customer, and I acquired this customer through whatever the channel. But see, now I can say, okay, so however I got that one customer, this is how I'm going to get the second customer, right? Once and then how much did that cost me? How much did it cost me to get one customer, right? How much is one customer worth over the lifetime of the product? So these are all the type of questions that I have to answer, right? This is the information that I need if I'm going to be successful. And each time a friend or a family member buys something, and if they buy that product, then they're throwing off my numbers, because let's say, I will not disclose because I feel like at this point, people are not just going out like, yo, man, let me go ahead and like, people are not doing that. Right. But I need to, because I sent out a large request for people. Hey, join my page. But I'm going to delete that. I'm going to delete that right now. I'm going to delete that post right now because I don't want people joining and being a part of it just to help me out. Right? Like I don't want them doing it. I don't want them just to help out. I need people who are, so here we go. Let's go ahead and move this to trash. Yes. I need people, even this one. I'm going to leave this up. Only because this one I'm going to leave up. Because this doesn't say that this is me and that I want you to do something. This is only just putting it out there. Hey, if you would like, if this looks interesting to you, then you'll catch it, right? So I feel like that one is fine. But my other, where I sent the request for people to join, that didn't go through, and I'm glad that it didn't, right? I don't want friends and family joining the page only because it's me and they just want to support me, right? Because now I don't know. I don't know how much it costs. So how can I truly market to someone if I don't know anything? Each time you get into the ring to go fight, right? If you're Pablo, each time you get in the ring with your goons, with your goonies, like, yo, they're going to throw the fight. They're not going to hit you. And this happens time and time and time and time again. You have this false sense of reality. You think when you get in the ring with a real person, somebody who's really trying to kill you, you think that, like, yo, man, let me go ahead and clean them up real fast. And then you find out real quick. You get that reality check. Combo breaker. Right? So you're like, oh, man, these people really hit hard. Like, yo. And see, that's something that I learned. I learned that real young. I learned that really young, that the psychology of people in the group, that people are not going to fight you hard when they know you, when they're afraid of your family members, right? I remember, I think I told this story about Erskine. He beat me up. He pulled my shirt over my head, and he was just, just beating me up. He was just punching me, right? And I didn't even fight back, right? I didn't even fight back. And it was a reason why I didn't fight back. Because he was with like a whole bunch of old ass guys, right? He was with a whole bunch of them. And I already knew at an early age, like, yo, if you are winning, like, yo, nah, you think they just gonna let their man get beat up? No, they not. They not gonna let their man get beat up. Okay. And so if you're already winning, you're beating him up in front of his homies, and then his homies jump in, he's gonna go extra hard to get that humiliation off, right? So now they gotta hold you by your arms, and he gotta kick you in your face and kick your teeth out, right? He gotta get a bat and just like beat you, and like, they really need to humiliate you. He might need to pee on you. He might need to just pull your pants down, like, yo, just strip you butt naked, make you walk home naked, right? Because he felt humiliated that you beat him up in front of his friends. Like I said, like, this lesson was taught to me early, right? The Erskine thing happened, I think I was probably like in the 3rd grade. Maybe even the 2nd. It was like the 2nd or 3rd grade that lesson was taught to me. So I knew already, right? I knew early, like, yo, people get humiliated, right? So people are, depending on your status, you might not feel the true strength of a man. But don't don't underestimate that man, right? Like I remember kids who underestimated me, right? Before I came out of my show, before they would say, before I got off the porch, before I got off the steps. And I've always been like this. People who know me know that I'm a loving, caring person. Like, I would never choose violence first, right? And we're going to get into, because I picked up, it's the Dictator's Handbook. This is a special. It's on Amazon, and I don't know if it's on Netflix, but it's on like a couple other things. I picked it up on Vudu, and these tactics that I'm seeing, because they cover 6 dictators. So what is it? Sung Young-un, or it's like Kim Jong-un's grandfather. So his grandfather, Saddam Hussein, and now we're on Mussolini, right? So I'm on the 3rd one, and there's 6 total, so it's 3 more to go. These are the tactics, right? It's some tactics that come over, that you see over and over and over again, right? And that's what I learned. That's what I learned as a young tyke. I learned that. Like, the lessons that these dictators learned, like, I learned that. And those are lessons from that's like poverty 101. Like, you learn that lesson real quick. When you grow up in a poor neighborhood, everyone who is listening to this, if you grew up, and it's not even just poor, but I think it's, what is it? Exacerbated. Look, I've been watching The Matrix 2 with Cornel West in that bitch. Your boy talking about exacerbate. Holy crap. Oh, good googa mugga. Good googa mugga. Exacerbate? But like, poverty will grow that, right? It will exaggerate it. It will just make it bigger. Multiply, right? It will multiply times infinity and beyond. Right? So it don't matter if you grew up in a poor, because humans are humans. It's just the way it is. So it doesn't matter where you grew up, what level of money you grew up in. Humans are humans. But the tools that humans are afforded, that is dictated by wealth, right? If you're 10 years old and you're in a wealthy neighborhood, in a wealthy community, right? An affluent neighborhood, an affluent community, 9 times out of 10, you don't have to worry about other 10-year-olds bringing guns around y'all, and y'all just like killing each other. Like that is not going to happen. It's not. Just the structure of the community is just not going to allow that to happen. But when you're poor, man, when you're at the bottom, like, guns, look, they're there, especially now, nowadays. So like I said, I mean, I say all of that because that's why I don't want family and friends helping me. I have to do this, and I have to see it clear so that I can make the proper adjustments, right? So I picked up a .com. I picked up the .com, and it's like, all right, I did that this morning. So your boy got the .com within, I would say, either today. I guess it'll be today, because I kind of already got the home page, right? Because I created a product page on my bowmiles.com website. So with that, I created a product page. So now I picked up the actual app's name.com. So now I'm going to develop that, right? Start to develop it. And I have I have ideas on how to do that, right? I have ideas on how to do that. Through blogs, right? So I know how to create a blog. I know how to get content for the blog. So that's one way, right? So if we constantly blogging about something, and we're building up on the blogging, we're getting articles. We have that. That's one aspect of the website. Then we have the app itself, because the app is going to there's a lot of content for the app. Right now, we just have one, but I believe it's going to be 10. So it's going to be like 30. It's going to be 30 apps. There's going to be 30 apps for this, right? So, boom, like, yo, that's time, right? So there's a lot of content. So we have the 30 apps, the 30 write-ups, comments. So this website is definitely going to get to a point where it's juicy, right? So we have that. Then we're going to do the YouTube. Now, I'm going to create a whole new YouTube page. I was thinking, should I just, and I feel like I have to do, I feel like I have to do it on my Bo Miles YouTube page. Right? And I think, yeah, so that is Bo Miles, right? I have to do it on there because this is just a small independent project. It's just one man. This is a one-man project. So I want people to be able to access me and to say like, yo, this is what we like about the app, right? This is what we like. Yo, could you do this? Could you do that? Right? So that way I can make the changes and I can make the updates as they're coming in, right? And I can start to just create a dialogue with my customers. So that, yeah, I'm going to put up a video and start putting up videos on my Bo Miles YouTube page that will be in alignment with the product. And then eventually I will actually demo the app, demo the product on YouTube, and start to and even play it on Twitch, play it on YouTube, right? So I'm going to do that. So this way, boom, it's like my little workers, they're out there and they're just trying to spread the word about the app and reach people who who are searching for some type of solution to the problem, right? So that's what I'm gonna do, right? As far as that, and it's like I said earlier, like, yo, this is going to take time. Like it just takes time, right? It's just no way around it. Like, yo, it takes time. It's just no way around it. But we know that we have to fail. We know that we're going to fail a lot during this, right? We're going to fail a lot, but we're going to have a couple wins. We're going to have some wins. Like, I'm going to get that sale, right? I'm going to get my first sale from someone who needs and someone who wants the product. And that could be a friend or a family member, right? I'm not taking away from that. It could be a friend or family member who wants this solution, and says, like, yo, this is what I want, right? And I have someone who was like, yo, this is what they want. But when they played it on the Android, I could just tell that the touch controls, the touch screen, it just was trash. Like I already knew that. I knew that when I first put it on my iPhone, and I was like, man, like if the touch controls, if it was better, like man, this would definitely be, I would definitely be a lot happier. But it's okay. It's okay. Right? Other people have ran into the same problem with the controls of the touch screen and was like, yo, and then they came up with different solutions. But it is, for me, it's important that the characters be a nice size and it's close enough so that you can read and know what's going on. Like that is important to me. So look, I got to make other provisions. Like I said, look, the next step is to start the steps to get it on Steam, and then promote there wherever it can live at its strongest. That's where it needs to be. Whether it's and I know, look, I mean, I would have a more successful time if it was on Android and Apple, but just the controls, they're just not good. And so I think people could still benefit, right? So I believe that people will still benefit from it. Once the demo gets approved, which it should be approved by next week, but once the demo is approved and people can download it, I think that people will give it a try, and I'm going to get some feedback, and I believe that the biggest criticism will be the touch controls, right? And that's going to put off that might put off 80% of the people who download it, right? So that only gives me 20%, but see, again, that's just your 80-20, right? 80% of your profits comes from 20% of whatever, right? Or 20% of something generates 80%, right? So that type of rule finds itself time and time again. So it's going to be fine. Like, no matter what happens, like I said, I already know, because my friend who checked it, like, I can already tell that the controls put him off, right? Now, once I get it on Steam, then I feel like, once I get it on Steam, then he'll be able to play it in its glory, right? The controls won't be a problem on Steam. So he'll be able to play it on Steam, and then we can reevaluate it again. Like, boom, now check it out, right? So, and I think it'll be good. He has a Steam Deck, so just having it on Steam for him, I think is going to be good. So then it's like, all right, now we just have to get other people, and we're going to figure it out. We're going to figure it out. So that's not going to be a problem. Like I was saying with the with that show, the Dictator's Handbook. It's because I think I talked a little bit about Narcos and how I really enjoyed that show, and just understanding that, like, like I'm a villain, like I am. Like, even back home, like I was back home, and we was just talking about all the guys in the neighborhood. And it's like, man, you hung out with all, all the, these killers, and like, because that's who I am. Now, I never, like I said, I never preferred violence. I never preferred violence. Right. I've always thought about people and how I never really wanted to hurt people, right? But just like in the Dictator's Handbook, I understood that violence is the quickest way to achieve something, to achieve a certain, whether it's conformity, whether it's compliance. Like, violence is the quickest way to achieve that. Right? I learned that lesson early. But like I said, at the same time, I never liked violence. And I know some guys who like it. Like, they like violence. When they see somebody walking down the street, like, yo, who is that? Let's go beat them up. Right? Let's go inflict pain upon them. You see somebody sleeping on a bench, like, yo, let's go beat them up. Right? So I know people like that. Or I could say I knew, because people that I know now, it's not like, to say that I know would be like saying that this is what they're doing, right? So I knew people, and this is things that we did as kids, right? But I knew people who enjoyed it. Like, yo, they enjoyed all of that. They enjoyed killing. They enjoyed robbing, right? They just enjoyed it. And again, when we go back to the good enough, like I'm not good enough because, like, I never enjoyed that type of stuff. Like, that's not what I enjoy. But like I said, I understand that strength and the ability to do all of those things, that it matters, that it matters. Like, my ability to be able to kill a person with my bare hands, it is valuable. Like, it's valuable. If we're on a plane, like, yo, I can get the job done. If we're in a courthouse, I can get the job done. If we're in a jail cell, I can get the job done. Day one. Like, yo, I don't need to, let me go get a shank. Let me go get a gun. Let me go get a chain. No, I don't need none of that. And I understand the value of that. Like, that's very valuable. I told y'all when I was in that cell and the guy came into my cell, right? Just in my mind, like, it was no fear. It was like, yo, calmly, right? Calmly just assess the situation. When people are bigger, like, they're muscular, we call it brolicky. People like that, they need a lot of oxygen. So, you talk about fighting, the more wrestling that they do, the more oxygen that they need, the more you can tire them out. Their body, all of those muscles need oxygen. So a lot of times when people are fighting, they don't breathe anyway, right? Each punch, they kind of hold their breath, or when they take a punch, they hold their breath. So a lot of untrained people, they don't know how to breathe because these are things that they're not practicing. They're not practicing breathing during fighting, right? But when you train, you learn that really fast. So you always push yourself to those moments to where, like, yo, my whole body, my body is totally exhausted, right? You get yourself to that level to where, yo, I am totally exhausted. Okay, round one, and you got like 20, 50, 11 more rounds. Like, yo, this is just begun. You really start to focus on your breathing. You start, and it just becomes a different game. Right? Now, like I said, people who are muscular, people who have a lot of muscles on them, stocky, right? They can be as strong as the Hulk, but their body, you can mentally want whatever the mental things that you want. You could tell yourself whatever you need to tell yourself. It doesn't matter. If you haven't been training in this certain realm, like, yo, I'm gonna pull you out there. Okay. You better believe that while we are fighting, I'm going to put my hands over your nose and your mouth. And that's going to make you panic. The first time that I do it, you're going to panic. Right? You're already not breathing while you're punching and getting punched. You're already not breathing for that. Now that I'm putting my hands over your face, over your nose, over your mouth, I'm just slowly just putting the idea in your head, and I'm slowly exhausting the oxygen that your body requires. Now you're panicking. It doesn't matter where you are in this fight. It doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter, right? Now, like I said earlier, a lot of these guys, right? Even this guy, when came in my cell, a lot of these guys, they so used to people of like the little cousin syndrome or my big brother syndrome, right? People afraid of your big brother. People afraid of what you've done. Like, I don't know none of that. Like, yo, I don't know none of that stuff. I have no reason to be afraid of you. Right? The only thing that I have in the back of my mind, right? Like I said, I already know, like, yo, if you muscular, I already know what I need to do, because it doesn't matter. You're like, yo, even someone telling you, right? A person, your body is your body. It doesn't matter. Your body, all of those muscles will still need oxygen. It doesn't matter. Even if you've been training for 150 years, those muscles still need oxygen, right? That's why people was doing like the cycling. That's why all of that stuff happened. Because once you push yourself to a certain level, to a certain limit, like it needs oxygen, right? Like, yo, you could collapse. Even through training, right? Even through training. Now, we're in there and I'm like, all right, let's engage calmly, right? Because I don't know what this is. Like, yo, is this, because to me, in the moment, it's like, yo, this is like some gay shit. That's what it seemed like to me. It just seemed like, yo, this is like, what else could it be? Like, yo, like, it's nothing in the cell, right? It's not like I have a TV or I have some magazines or I have some food. Like, I don't have nothing in here. So to me, like, yo, what? Look, man, I need to just go ahead from his perspective. Could it be, yo, I need to go ahead and intimidate him? This way, beat him up, get him under my reign of terror, right? So that everyone in this, pod, in this area, they know that, like, yo, I'm the king over here. Like, oh, is it that, right? I don't know. Like, yo, this is day one in this bitch. I don't know. So I'm not thinking about none of that. I'm just thinking like, yo, this is just too weird for me, right? Mainly it's going to be the check, right? The check temperature, right? So I immediately engage, redirect, right? Redirect. Yo, how does this work? Right? After he, I think it was like the toilet, right? How does the toilet work? Yo, you get, I think you get like 1 or 2 flushes a day, right? Whatever the number, let's say 1 to 3. You get 1 to 3 flushes a day, and that's all you get. Okay, and then I forgot. I don't know if there was a button or if there was a sensor or it was something. Maybe it was flush. Yeah, I believe it was some type of button, right? So he showed me that, and then oh man, all right, cool, right? Walk him to the door or to the cell gate or whatever they want to call it, right? Walk him there and then close it and lock it. Like, yo, because I don't need that type of drama. I'm trying to get out. Like, yo, I'm not trying to have some type of offense and now I gotta spend some, like, yo, no. Right? But at no point it was like, yo, and like, yo, boom, he could have came in there, he could have had a shank. Right? Like, yo, I don't know. Later on, we're sitting in like the little sitting area, and he's offering food and drinks to the other inmates. And one of the other guys like, yo, man, don't offer me no shit like that. He's like, yo, man, don't offer me no shit. The hell is wrong with you? Right? So and then other guys are laughing, right? Even the guy, the guy, the Ja Rule looking guy, even he was laughing, right? And it's like, yo, come on, bro. Like, you already know that. Like, yo, nobody don't want your drinks. Nobody don't want your food. Like, yo, and so it's like, I don't know what you're on. Right? I don't know what you're on, bro. Like I said, to me and just like to the other guy who said something, it's like, yo, I mean, we just got to take that as like something gay, bro. Like, yo, the Ja Rule looking guy, he could have took it like he just trying to, get some friends or something. He's trying to, build up brotherhood. So maybe he has to go to war, because there was a couple guys who were locked, who had to stay in their pods or their cell. They had to stay in there. Right? So I don't know if there was a fight between them right? So you don't know his motivations, but, it's like, yo, nah. Like, look, man, the way you going about it just has it reeks of a homosexuality. Like, yo, it just had that reek of homosexuality. Right? So I bring that up to say, like, I'm well versed in that type of thing, in that environment. And I understand its value. But like, I just never liked it. I will always prefer peace and harmony and just love of people over disparity and just like I said, just watching, which I like it, just watching the Dictator's Handbook. Like, I like the series, the documentary is very informative, but I couldn't do that. Like, me personally, like, and that's why I say, even going back to the good enough, like, yo, I'm just not good enough for that, man. Like what Kim Jong-un, what his grandfather did, and really what his father and then him, what they're doing to the North Korean people, the propaganda, and America, they're using the same tactics as well, right? So it's not like it's them versus us, far as other nations versus our nation. We do the same thing. We're doing the same thing, because when you watch the videos, you watch Mussolini and he has all of these people cheering, he has all these people doing this and doing that. Like yo, if instead of showing Mussolini, we showed JFK, or we showed Ford, or we showed Franklin, or we showed Edison, or we showed Johnson, right? Roosevelt. It doesn't matter who we show, it all fits, right? It all fits. But in the documentary, they're saying like, yo, he's really like I don't want to say it was Sung Young Un, which I gotta learn those names. Remember with the Narcos, It was Mateo Cockroach, and he didn't invent cocaine, but it was growing, right? It's growing in his backyard, and he was just like one of the main. He was like one of the main guys, but it was, people knew the effects of cocaine since the I want to say it went back to the 1400s, right? So they kind of knew the effects, but he definitely was a big contributor for America, North America and the United States receiving the cocaine. So I just wanted to say that, but yeah, I want to say that the guy's name, that the grandfather's name was Sun Young-un, right? And just what he was doing to the people, like, yo, man, like, there's got to be a better way than that, right? It has to be a better way. Mussolini the same way, Saddam Hussein, and I'm definitely going to watch those again, like after I finish the next three. So I'm going to finish Mussolini and then finish up the next three, and then go back and rewatch it. So that way I can start to really understand which some of the key concepts is going to be violence, so extreme violence to take over, and then propaganda to control, right? So those are going to be like your key elements, but they have some other things that they use. It's not just violence and propaganda, right? They have other tools that they use at their disposal. So yeah, that's that. I don't want to make this too long. But look, we have a we have a nice road ahead of us. And besides the project, besides the app, the product, I gotta work. Like I said, I mean, I'm just waiting on the world to change. But I need to get in there. I need to work. I just do. Like it's like I'm falling behind, and I just need to work. There's just no way around it. I need to work, right? I have to trade time for money until I don't have to, but I got to get caught up, and I will. Like I said, I mean, only through failing do we understand things better. So this journey with the product, like, I'm gonna fail, right? I'm gonna fail a lot, but I'm gonna understand. So that's the good thing. Eventually, I'm gonna get my first customer. Eventually, there's a guy that I follow on Twitter and Instagram. He's like a beat maker. He makes beats, and I can't think of his name. Right? I can't think of his name, but he says he's on day 54 of trying to sell his first beat. Right? He's on day 54. And if that's his first beat, to sell his first beat, then I know it's even more than day 54, but probably day 54 from him and intentionally trying to sell his first beat, right? So it may take a year, it may take 2 years before he is good enough, right? So, like I said, with the poetry and just with my kids, for the music to be good, that I can't critique. But once you, like, yo, you got the beat is right, ba-doom boom sh, ba-doom boom sh, ba-doom boom sh, ba-doom boom sh, ba-doom boom, right? And you got something like ba-doom boom, right? Look, when you have that, you add a few out, look, that's a beat, like, it's not like it's not a beat. Now, would someone buy it? I don't know, right? I don't know. I don't know how good or not good it is for the style and the genre that you're going for. I can't speak on that, but I can say now that, like, that's a beat. So, just keep it that, right? Keep at it. And that's what I'm going to do. Even with my product, it's like, it is an app. It is a game, and it works, right? Now we just have to figure out how to sell, right? And like, it may take 54 days before I get my first sale. It may take a year, right? But look, the iceberg, we're gonna build up that iceberg. So when we finally get the sale, but it's like, all right, boom. Now let's use that information to get 10 sales. Boom. Once we hit our 10, let's use that information to get 100 sales. Let's use that information to get 1,000, right? So that's how we got to go. Like I said, but we have to trade time for money right now. And it's unfortunate, but that's just the way it is. And, so look, I'm going to be working like maybe 60 to 70 hours a week. And that sucks. But when I think about when I was a kid, that's how I was working, right? We went to school. You got up around 6 something, headed to school, got to school. Then right after school, you just headed to work. You got off from work around 10, right? So, I mean, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. So it's not like it's new. This isn't new, right? Working 12, 15, 16-hour days, like, man, that's not new. The only thing is the first half I wasn't getting paid for it. I was getting graded, and that sucks even worse. That sucks. That's worse than working. Now you gotta freaking study and learn and look, man, I'm not good enough. I'm not interested. I'm not this. I'm not that. I failed. I gotta do it again, right? So at least we can work these shifts, get paid, and do it again, right? And then get caught up, use that money to fund the advertising and the acquisition. Fund our customer acquisition. So that's that, guys. Reese's
Everyday life, friends and family.